that this book gives well-tested methods for increasing sales results. It's already helped thousands of people be more successful in larger sales, and it can give the same help to you. More than 10,000 salespeople in 23 countries generously agreed to let Huthwaite researchers travel with them and observe them in action during sales calls. This book is about them and for them with our thanks. Then I must thank upwards of 1,000 sales managers who have been part of programs we've run across the world and who have helped refine the ideas I'm presenting here. Finally, at last count, there were more than 100 people who were closely involved in the research itself and in the development of our ideas. I can't include them all, but special mention must go to Peter Honey and Rose Evison, who worked with us to develop the original behavior analysis methodology we used in our research. From this methodological base, we were able to produce some initial measurement instruments that let us take the first ever scientific, quantitative look at sales calls. In those early stages, Roger Sugden deserves special mention as the first member of the Huthwaite research team to use these early methods. For the development of this spin model itself, thanks should go to Simon Bailey and Linda Marsh, who helped during the initial field studies to validate the spin model. Many other Huthwaite colleagues have helped, including Dick Ruff and John Wilson, whose experience as trainers have given me valuable insights into how to express many of the concepts I describe here. Also my thanks to Joan Kostich, who helped me revise the manuscript, and to Elaine Aylesworth, who prepared the illustrations. People outside Huthwaite who have made substantial contributions include Masaki Imai of the Cambridge Corporation, who has adapted our models to fit the fascinating Japanese sales environment. Jan Vandenberg of McKinsey & Company, who has forced me to express these concepts in fewer words than I thought decent. And Harry Gaines, whose instincts for layout and presentation have changed the shape of the book. Neil Rackham. Chapter 1. Sales Behavior and Sales Success. The VP of Sales met me at O'Hare Airport, and within minutes we were driving through the Chicago suburbs. He wasted no time in getting down to business. The reason I want you to do this research, he explained, is because our sales are about 30% lower than they should be. As you know, we're a Fortune 100 company, and we invest a lot in recruiting and training. Yet, I'm not getting the results I'm looking for. I want your research people to travel with some of my sales rep and find out what's wrong. This was a perfect opportunity. My organization, Huthwaite, had been working for several years to develop a method called behavior analysis, which allowed us to watch salespeople at work and to figure out which of the sales behaviors they used were the ones most linked to success. I jumped at the chance to try out our new methods. Using our research team and some managers from the VP's own organization, we went out in the field to watch how his people behaved in sales calls. 2 months later, we were ready to meet with him again to share our findings. In the meeting room, as I stood up to speak to the VP and his sales management team, I knew he wouldn't like what we were about to say. I decided to take him through the easy bits first, so I said that we'd observed 93 calls, and that we'd been out with some of his best performers, and with some who were, I searched for a delicate word, well, less than best. Yes, he said impatiently. You don't have to remind me. What did you find? I answered cautiously. First, let's discuss what's going on in the successful sales calls, I suggested, and see what's different about them. We found... Let me guess, he interrupted. You went out with some of our superstars. I think I know what's different about their calls. They're good closers. Am I right? I hesitated for a moment. Not exactly, I answered. At least, not if you mean that they use a lot of closing techniques. In fact, in your successful calls, we recorded a lot fewer closes than in the calls that failed. I find that hard to believe, he protested. What else did you find? Before I could reply, a thought struck him. I guess objection handling could be just as important as closing, he conceded. Maybe my top people are better at overcoming objections. Something told me this was going to be a difficult meeting. Again, not exactly, I answered. We found that your successful calls contained very few objections. In terms of objection handling skills, I don't think your top people were any better than your poorer people. That was clearly the wrong thing to say. One of the sales managers present helpfully tried to get the meeting back on track. Why don't you tell us what you found about probing skills, he suggested. I think this would be more useful. The VP brightened up noticeably. Yes, he said, probing skills are very important. When I'm invited to address sales training classes,